post the links. Okay, it's looking like we're live. I've had a few people in the chat waiting for it to go. So welcome, guys, to West Ham Fan TV Live. Oh, I can hear myself. That's annoying. Dan Lawless here with Ryan Archer, and we finally got this off the ground. Technical difficulties, mate, as usual. Anytime you want to go live, innit? It's a bloody pain.
Bring back Nicky.
Bring back
Nicky.
Dan out. First time. It's funny, actually. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is the first time me and you have done a video, just us two. I've done one just me and Nicky, just me and Scott, and just me and Graham. But this might be the first time it's just us two.
I think we've picked a good day for it, mate. I think there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's what a busy day. There's all sorts to talk about. Yeah, everyone can hear us. Dan looking fresh. Cheers, Bruce.
Where do you want to start? The most important news of the day?
Yeah, let's
the unveiling of the new third kit.
Yeah, that's it. That's what everyone wants to talk about, right? Go on, mate.
I'm a bit mixed on it because when I see the mock-up pictures, I was thinking I don't really like it. But when I see the players wearing it in the game today, I actually quite like it. I think it's a decent kit.
Yeah, I was that one. Even when they posted like the leaked one, it was just a kit on its own. I was a bit like, but then when I saw the video that came out, it really warmed on me. I really started to like it. It's looking, and I think what I like about third kits is you have the opportunity to do something different.
Yeah, I've never seen a West Ham kit with pink on it before, so that's something new.
Yes, it's something to that's the, like you keep your home and away a bit more traditional, and your third kit's a chance to go a bit out there. You know what I mean? So, and then right at the end of that video was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, I think a lot of people turned off before the end of the video because they didn't really understand what was going on. But yeah, I mean, what a way to announce him! I can see why it took long now for them to do the video because they've obviously pre-recorded that video and they've just added that bit on at the end to get him in. But imagine that you just signed your contract and they're like, get up now and dance to the camera.
He looks so awkward as well. He was like, he didn't know what to do.
It's a massive signing for West Ham. I'm glad we've got it over the line now. We was desperate for a striker. We missed out on Maxi Gomez. People are saying this Haller's the second choice. I don't believe that. I believe the club had a list of players. If you don't get your not first choice, but you don't get one, you move on to the next.
Yeah, I think the reason why probably Gomez was the one we went through first is because of his link with Husilos. I think Husilos had worked with him before in Spain. I can't remember what club it was at. I don't know if it was at Celta, but when Husilos was there. So they knew him. They seemed to like the Spanish league, so they kind of know what they're getting a bit more. But like you said, like Haller is arguably the better fit for the Premier League. From looking at him, he seems like it could be good that we missed out on Gomez, potentially. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, as I've said on previous shows, I didn't really know too much about him. But when we was linked with him, you look on YouTube and yeah, he looks like the sort of missing piece of the puzzle, the striker we've been looking for, that type of striker. I mean, when you look at him, he reminds me of his build a bit like, remember when we had a Freddie Canute? Yeah. He reminds me of him. Maybe if he's anything like Dean Ashton, holds up the play, scores goals, we're going to have a hell of a striker. And it takes a lot for a club like us to pay, what was it, 42.5 million, 45 million euros, whatever it is. That's a lot of money for West Ham because we're not the sort of club that can waste money on a striker. If it don't work out, a Man City can go and pay another 50, 60 million and get a new striker, and we can't. So it's a big gamble, but I think it's going to work out well for us and Haller.
Yeah, I mean, and I think just the quickness and the decisiveness of the way we got that deal, because it was a bit worrying after the way Gomez went and it dragged out. And we was told it was happening, it's not happening. When it didn't happen, we went, right, let's go get this sorted, let's get this over the line. And there was rumours actually about the agent wanting to put in a release clause in and us just flat out rejecting it.
I think that's great because I said to Nicky the other day that when he said that, well, it wasn't rumour, it was rumoured that he said it, that he wanted this release clause in his contract that if a bigger club, a Champions League club comes into him, he can go, which for me, you don't really want to hear your record signing saying that, right? After 1 year, he wants that he might want to leave. So It's an interesting one, and I'm glad the club have sort of got that out of the contract. It's a 5-year deal with a further option of 12 months. I'll be honest with you, mate. If he's still here in 5 years, we've done well. But yeah, it's a gamble, but we've got our main man now. Now we can start adding other players to the squad. I think that's it for the strikers. I reckon he's going to play Hernandez and probably Antonio up front.
It's funny. Well, it's funny you say that actually, because that's what I wanted to talk about. Now, Sean Whetstone, West Ham ITK, and Nicky's favourite person, had come out, and I see this on Twitter earlier. I have to find the tweet, but apparently we're doing a deal. We're negotiating a deal for a mysterious other striker that the club are keeping under wraps. They want to keep it out of the private domain. But there's already the talks have started with this other striker. We don't know who it is, and it seems to be a foreign striker, apparently.
Well, yeah, we was linked with the Brentford striker, weren't we? And I've seen rumours today that we're after the Rangers striker as well for about 5 million. So if they can get someone in cheap or on loan just for the season, then that'd be a good deal for the club. But I still think, we got 3 weeks left of the window now, 4 weeks. We're still going to be linked with so many players. It's still going to be busy, but we still definitely need to add at least 2 or 3 more players to this squad.
Yeah, I mean, so look, this is what it said. It's so West Ham. So this other guy, Graham Bailey, said West Ham have completed 45 million deal for Haller and already working on another deal for a striker. Then Sean came out and said it's probably the one they've been working on that is off the radar, so not public domain. And he said it won't get leaked unless the foreign press leaked it, which tells you it's a foreign striker. And it's very interesting to who it be. I mean, I like the idea that they're keeping it under wraps. And this is what I came out with is why can't we do that more often? Why is it that things get leaked? I can understand certain agents of players leak it to the mainstream press, but when things get leaked to West Ham fan sites, it makes me think that it's an internal thing within the club. So why do the club leak some transfer dealings to the West Ham fan sites?
Yeah, that is always a thing. I know. Look, we're all impatient these days. We all want to know the news straight away, but sometimes some deals have to be kept under wraps. And you're right. I do think the club leak it to certain sort of ITKs and. But look, some of these ITKs, they've got egos that they want to feed and they want to be the first. And you see them all raring over Twitter who said this first and who said that. Look, we'll want to. As I said, we'll want to know who we're getting and that. But sometimes it is just better to keep it under wraps until the deal is actually done. Like when we done the little surprise signings with. The goalkeeper at the beginning of the season. No one knew it was happening. It just happened. They just announced it. And that was refreshing for a change.
Fornals was, there was no long list of information. We didn't really hear until just before it was done. And like you said, it's so refreshing to have signings that you just don't know about that just happen. It would be nice to, because it can jeopardize the actual signing of the player. And it alerts other clubs that, wait a minute, this deal's getting done, we better jump in quick. There was rumours about Inter Milan and Dortmund coming in later for, what's his name, Haller.
Yeah.
So there's all...
And not only that, there could have been a, say, for instance, Tottenham Hotspur. They could have maybe sneaked in at the last minute and maybe put in a cheeky bid. And because they've got Champions League football and they're a London club as well, he would have probably chose them over us. So... It's something, you just keep it under wraps until it's done. So that's why I never really sort of get happy until I see the announcement video or them holding the shirt.
Yeah, that's it. That's always the best way to be. Always take everything with a grain of salt. Nothing is set in stone until it's announced officially. So apart from, we're going to get into the Man City game soon, guys. I think we'll get into a bit of that. But talking about signings, striker, obviously, there could be going for another striker, but where would you like to see us strengthen next?
Do you know what? I feel still. I know Zabaleta signed a new 1-year deal, but I still, after watching him today against City, and I think he's going to struggle a bit next season. So maybe bringing in another right back, maybe a player that can play right and left back to cover, obviously, Creswell and Masuaku. I still think we need a defensive midfielder to come in. I think we're all right sort of attacking players now. I wouldn't mind another one because you can never have too many flair players. But yeah, I definitely think another 3, maybe 4 signings, and this squad will be perfect. This squad will be ready to challenge for the Europa League, hopefully.
Yeah, I think Fredericks looked good today. I think from what I saw, he did look good. I think he can be that main first choice right back. It's just some question marks over his ability to stay fit because he picked up quite a few injuries last season, so that's a worry. And then Ben Johnson can play right or left back, but obviously he's still a young player. You don't want to have to rely on him.
Yeah, you don't want to put too much pressure on Ben Johnson at the moment. He's got a lot of potential, but I think we just need to bring in a little bit of experience. I don't even care if it's a couple of loan players, just to get us through this season. I still think we need cover because if Fredericks gets injured, I'll be worried to play Zabaleta there. You know, I'd rather play Antonio back there.
Yeah, I think there's games where you play Zabaleta, but against teams like Man City's, Liverpool's, teams like that with pacey wingers and things like that, you don't really want to be playing Zabaleta. But even the left back is an area because I think Creswell looks a bit shaky. He did start to really improve at times last season, but and then you've got Masuaku, who's better going forward. But to have a bit of a good all-round left back would be nice, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Creswell was always, you always feel like he's going to pick up an injury, be out long term. And Masuaku, as you said, he's good going forward. Don't get me wrong, the last couple of games last season, his defensive side was a bit better, but I'd prefer him more as a winger going forward because he's got a lot of skill and he can put in a good ball. So I think, yeah, we do need maybe cover at left back, but I think in the centre midfield as well, in the defensive midfield, because I'm not impressed with Sanchez, not impressed with him at all, and I think Obiang is probably going to leave the club. So we can't just rely on Mark Noble and Declan Rice to be them defensive midfield.
No, it was a strange one. The whole signing of Sanchez. I think it was just one of them. He came to us on a free, bit of a backup option for Rice, but like I said, we do really need a defensive midfielder to play in alongside Rice, and as well relying on Declan Rice so much. I think it's difficult because touch wood, if he gets an injury.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you put too much pressure on Declan Rice, then he will pick up injuries, and that's the last thing we want is for someone like Declan Rice to be out for a long time. But yeah, I mean, looking at our squad, I think we've got a good, everyone fully fit. We've got a really decent starting 11. I mean, at the back, you got Diop and Balbuena. We've sort of missed Balbuena today. I know he's not with the squad at the moment because he was with the internationals. But I think once we get a fully fit squad, if we can keep them fit, then there's no reason why we ain't going to be up there come the end of the season in the top 8, pushing for Europe.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Injuries has been a big problem. I think as well as if we do get another defensive midfielder, it gives you the option of, say, if Diop or Balbuena get injured, playing Rice back at centre back. If Ogbona's on a shaky run of form, you might want to go and stick Rice back there, or having that bit of flexibility, and you don't have to go and sign a centre back for cover.
Yeah, you've also got Winston Reid as well, who's just
Winston Reid,
from injury. So hopefully, fingers crossed he can stay fit all season because I like Winston Reid.
It was so weird seeing him today in that kit reveal. Like, it just felt like really surreal because it's been ages since I've seen him play for West Ham, it feels like.
Yeah, he's been out for a long time.
Yeah, and, it was like seeing Joey O'Brien back or something. Like, it was really weird. But well, I know as a blast.
Imagine that.
Yeah, getting back on a 1-year deal. But no, I've always liked Winston Reid. I've always liked him. I just think injuries that haven't been kind to him. But when he's been on a good run of form, he's been brilliant.
He's a loyal servant to West Ham. He's been there a long time, and whatever happens to Winston Reid, he's always going to be in our history as the last ever goal scorer at the Boleyn. So yeah. I'm hoping he can have a injury-free season. He probably won't be first choice, but if we know a fully fit Winston Reid, he will try to push Balbuena or Diop out of them starting positions. So it's good competition to have for Pellegrini.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I think that's it. It's having them selection headaches for Pellegrini. That's going to be the interesting one to see what he goes with. You know, do you play Chicharito and Haller up top as a two, which Haller played obviously with Jovic, who's gone to Real Madrid as a two up top. So, yeah.
That's an interesting one, because if he does decide to play Haller and Hernandez, then obviously someone like Lanzini, Fornals, Anderson, Yarmolenko's got to miss out. And how do you drop any of them fully fit? So it's interesting. But look, Pellegrini's paid a lot of money to do that job, and I'd rather have the headache of trying to pick a player out of them than looking through your squad and you've got loads of injuries and you've got to rely on youngsters.
I want to get your take on this Jordan Hugill situation, because it came out that he turned down an 18 grand a week move to Wigan. He had the opportunity to move to Wigan and he turned it down because he's on 35 grand a week. I mean, it's just a bizarre move. Like, I mean, what do you make of the Jordan Hugill situation?
Yeah, well, look, if I'm Jordan Hugill, I'll probably do exactly the same. You're at West Ham earning 35 grand a week. Look, he wants to play football at the end of the day. He's not going to get that at West Ham. From the moment we signed him, he was never going to be a first-team player. We was looking at probably signing him to be in the Championship, because at the time he was on a decent run for Preston, sort of. So, but yeah, David Moyes done his old club a favour. Give him, what did we give him? 9 million for him, 10 million. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We're never going to earn that money back on him. So you either loan him out for another season, or we just sell him on the cheap.
Well, here's the thing, right? That's come out, and I didn't know this. Apparently, it's common knowledge, but I wasn't aware of this. That it's something like his brother or his son or something. One of his family members is Jordan Hugill's agent, right? So obviously, there's some sort of shenanigans going on there of what he's done. You know, he signed him to bung his family members some money in this deal, like I said, help his old club out. And and he's fucked over West Ham in the process, because I remember being baffled when I posted my deadline day reaction to when we signed him, and I was baffled then, because you look at his record in the Championship, he scored like 10 goals all season in the Championship, and we paid around about 10 million for him. So there's some dodginess going on there.
Yeah, definitely. But look, Jordan Hugill, if he wants to play football, he's going to obviously have to leave the club, because he ain't even got a chance in China in pre-season. So there's no way he's ever going to get a chance at West Ham. Yeah. Probably won't even get a chance in the Capital Cup or Carabao Cup, whatever it's called now. So look, I'm not going to say he's a flop at West Ham, because obviously he's never had a chance to show us what he can do, but that's because he's probably not good enough to show us what he can do.
Yeah, there's a reason. Yeah, a few people have said that to me. Yeah, we ain't gave him a chance. It's probably, these managers see him in training. I mean, if David Moyes, right, the one who signed, didn't even want to give him a chance, and now you got Pellegrini, he's clearly not good enough. We've seen bits of him. We saw him in the Dagenham and Redbridge friendly. Me and Nicky went to, and even though he scored, he looked terrible. He just looks useless.
Listen, Sam Allardyce would have had him up top on his own.
Yeah, he would have loved a bit of that. But hopefully we can get rid of him, because that's 35 grand off the wage books, whatever we can get in the...
Oh, yeah. That 35 grand can go towards someone else a lot better than Jordan Hugill.
Yeah. I mean, we just got 25 grand. I think it's 25 grand a week or something for Byram. That's what I read. Byram was on 25 grand.
Oh, Sam Byram's announcement video for Norwich. Do you know what? It looked like someone just like he's walking up to a job interview. He sat down, they give him the job, and he just walks off again. All that mean?
He just sat down. I'm Sam Byram, and I'm the new signing for Norwich, and it just fades to a picture of him.
I've just seen that they've just signed another right back today as well. So.
Jeez, apparently they're not looking to spend too much money, and you can tell by the budget on that bloody announcement video. But 750 grand they've paid for Byram, which is, even though he's had a lot of injuries, it seems kind of cheap in today's market, and especially with English players for Byram.
Yeah, for an English Premier League player, that is cheap. But I just think we wanted to get him off the wage bill, and anything we could get, it was like an eBay sale, last minute bargain. Go on and see what you can get, and. Yeah, it's just one of them things, mate.
It's a shame. I mean, me and you, if you remember, at the there was that fans forum thing where we met Julian Dix, and you and I had a chat with him
Oh yeah,
if you
yeah.
remember rightly, in the lift and that. And he seemed like just a really nice lad, but injuries, he couldn't
Yeah,
stay fit.
he come with a lot of potential. We signed him from Leeds, I think it was. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, he come with a lot of potential.
Well,
He
first game
started off
come
all right. I
on,
remember his
yeah.
first game; he got booked after about 2 minutes, and the
Yeah.
fans loved him.
Well, do you remember he pinged that ball right across the other side of the pitch or something to, I can't remember who it was, but he just like brilliant. And he had a really good touch and he got himself down there, but he just down the wings. He just couldn't stay fit though, unfortunately. I think he could have been good for us if he did manage his
Yeah,
injuries.
no, definitely. But yeah, no, look, I'm happy with obviously we're all happy with the Haller signing. We can move on now, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing him join up with the squad when they get back from China. I think we play Fulham next, don't we?
Well, I see this talk about Newcastle. I don't know if we have to play like, the two losers play each other in the Asia Cup.
Yeah, they do on Saturday, but he can't. He won't be travelling
For
out
Haller,
there. So,
yeah. So
yeah,
that's our next game.
Yeah, we play Newcastle on Saturday, and then we come back, and then we play Fulham, and then we play. Is it Hertha Berlin? We play.
Hertha Berlin. Yeah, I think didn't we play them? I don't know if we played. Did we play them last season? Hertha Berlin.
I think we played them. It was either last season or the season before in the pre-season. But then the big one's going to be Atletico Bilbao at home. Haller will get his first experience at London Stadium, and then the week after he gets his proper experience of Premier League football against Man City.
Yeah, I've got to book my ticket. Actually, he reminded me for that Bilbao. I want to see about going to the Fulham game. But yeah, speaking of Man City, actually, before we get to that, shall we get into a bit about today's result? 4-1 loss.
Yeah, I mean,
champions.
I spoke to Nicky on the way home in the car about it, and I thought I'm always the same with pre-season. I don't really look at the results as much as you want to win. It'd be nice to win this little tournament, but it's all about match fitness. And as long as these players come through without an injury and they get more match fit, like players like Jack Wilshere, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, they missed a lot of football last season. So for them to get a run out, get some good game time under their belts, it's good for West Ham. And the first half, I was really impressed by our attacking. Anderson looks like he's got a bit of extra speed. He was just running past people. And it's good because if we can get everyone fully fit, start of the season, we can give it a real go against City.
Well, that's it, and it's that thing, isn't it? Is even though it's like the Asia Cup, it's a World Cup, it's still a pre-season game. It's still a game you can't really take too much from. Really, I mean, it's just like I said, give players a run out, have a look at different combinations of players. We seem to look really good in the first half, and of course, then second half comes, you have to change it a lot, and that's when things change. But Yarmolenko, yeah, looked really good.
Yeah, the thing is, look, we all want to win every game of football we go into, but I'll guarantee you now, if you said to every single West Ham fan, if you done a poll on Twitter or whatever, and you said, look, we lose every pre-season game, but we beat City 1-0 on the opening day, everyone's going to take that. That's what it's about, getting ready for Man City at home and getting ready for the Premier League.
Well, I think the last season at the Boleyn, didn't we lose every pre-season game that season, or most of them?
I remember the year when we won every pre-season game, we got relegated. So
yeah.
Pre-season don't really mean anything. But
nah, that's it.
It's just about play. Like Jack Wilshere today looked a lot fitter, sharper. As you said, Yarmolenko. It's a good run out for these types of players. Hernandez got 45 minutes under his belt, Snodgrass. Diagana had a little run out. I don't know where Fabianski was because I thought that he was going to be involved today because the official website even sort of posted about him yesterday saying that he was going to be involved. So I hope he ain't picked up an injury.
Yeah, that's the last thing. I mean, definitely our best player last season. I think having him in that's another one actually we didn't really even talk about. Just having Fabianski, in goal with that combination of outfield players is very exciting. I think he was unbelievable next season. So hopefully it's just a case of he didn't want to rush him back or something, and he wanted to maybe see a bit more of Roberto.
I think maybe, obviously, when we go into the Newcastle game on Saturday now, you'll probably see players like Declan Rice try to get a full 90 minutes, Noble. Just keep playing them, just keep giving them game time. But look, Man City, I mean, we obviously went 1-0 up, Mark Noble. You bet your life on him scoring. He doesn't miss, does he? But look, it was a great bit of play by West Ham. It was a penalty and ball. I think that was that Man City player. I think that was his first game. That was his debut. So, but look, Man City. It doesn't matter if you play an A, B or C team, Man City. They're going to have class all over, and it just showed you in the second half what they can bring off from the bench. And
they'll
I'm fed up.
dominate for years, Man City.
Yeah, I'm just fed up with seeing them stick 4 past us. You know, it's getting boring now. They just seem to, even when I thought we're going to have a Wednesday, give them a good game, they still stick 4 past us. But look, second half it was two different teams. So it'll be interesting when we play them first game of the season. Both fully fit teams. It'll probably be 4-0 to them, but
yeah. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one going into Newcastle. Actually, with the state there, and they've just appointed Steve Bruce as their manager, and no signings yet for them. They're a complete mess.
Six weeks ago, I had Newcastle fans on Twitter giving me a bit of stick saying, we're going to be this new big club. We've got all this money, billionaire owners. Since then, they've lost Rafa Benitez, Rondon, Perez, and now they've got Steve Bruce. So
they genuinely believed, a load of them, and this ain't even a joke, they genuinely believed they was getting Mbappe. They was all talking about, we're going to get Mbappe now. This new owner's coming in, and he's got these links, so we'll get Mbappe. And they've sold, like they said, let Rondon's gone, and they've sold Perez. So from Mbappe to Steve Bruce.
Yeah, I just feel, I do feel sorry for their fans, because their fans are so loyal to their club, and they've been through so much shit over the past 10 years, relegations, and they want Ashley out, and he just seems to be like he's doing it to wind them up. And you could to go and get Steve Bruce. I mean, Steve Bruce, fair play to him, because he's managed Sunderland. He done it in Birmingham. He managed Birmingham Villa. He's managed Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. So he'll probably be after the West Ham Millwall jobs in a few years' time.
Oh, geez. I mean, can you imagine going from Pellegrini to Steve Bruce? Like, that's how I would feel. And he's got like something like a 29% win record in the Premier League, I think I read.
Yeah, he's in that group of managers like David Moyes, Sam Allardyce, and
Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock. Yeah, I mean, I do feel sorry for Newcastle fans, but yeah, let's worry about.
Yeah, let's worry about. So yeah, it's one of them. It's another one of them teams. I think that would be competing in a similar space, but I think they could be relegated. So it helps us out next season with less teams competing for that similar space.
If a billionaire owner took over Newcastle with their fan base, they're a one city club, they'd be one of the biggest clubs in the world if they got everything right. But they're never going to get everything right under that ownership. See, this is where I know Gold and Sullivan get a lot of stick, and we sort of haven't given them a bit of praise, especially with this pre-season with the signings of Fornals and Haller. So we're quite lucky in a way, because I said this to Nicky last week, that as much as we sometimes don't like our owners, if we went out and got a new owner, he could change everything in the club. He could put ticket prices up. He could do this. He could do that. He could sell, players, but he could bring players in, and it could be totally different. I'm not saying that we're never going to move on from Gold and Sullivan, but sometimes when you look at like situations at Newcastle, we are a bit lucky, really.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. And I think the thing with them, look, we criticise them when there's stuff that we see that they do wrong and there's stuff we don't like. But you've got to give credit where credit's due with this Haller deal, because it came out that Husilos was in China and Sullivan was left to negotiate the remainder of the Haller deal. And we all panicked because of previous transfers that have gone wrong that Sullivan's done, but he pulled it off and got it off the line, and you got to give the geezer credit.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just seeing a few comments come up here saying how hot am I in this jumper. I'm actually all right. I've got the back door open. There's a breeze coming off the river, so no, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, so right now it's a nice temperature actually where I'm. It's not too shabby, but so it's interesting. We can look at a few comments. Anyone got any questions in? The Davids are okay, not amazing, but look, they back up the business now and have become a lot more quiet in the past 18 months. On gaming, yeah, that's the big thing for me as well. Is they less talking.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that was the main talking points in these meetings that the vloggers, whatever you want to say, had with the club. That Brady, Sullivan, Jack Sullivan, they only need to stay out of the press. I mean, I don't know who's running David Gold's account, but it's definitely not David Gold. I know that for a fact. So
Yeah, it seems that he's been very active actually lately with his taking the mick out of a few people, talking about people's wallpaper.
Yeah, I've seen about 5 or 6 comments about Ravel Morrison.
Yeah, there's a question here from Mr. Hammers.
Yeah.
Mr. Hammers, Dan Ryan. What do you think about Ravel Morrison signing for Sheffield United?
Yes. Look, we've seen him firsthand what he can do when he's on form, and he's an absolute talent. And that's not coming just from us. The legends like Sir Alex Ferguson said that he's one of the best youngsters he's ever seen. I remember Alex Song actually saying that he's one of the best two-footed players he's ever seen, and Alex Song played with Messi. Now, I'm not saying Ravel Morrison's as good as Messi or better than Messi, but look, he's got the talent. But the problem with him is just he ain't got the right head for football. He seems to be distracted by the little things, and he's got a big chance. He's got a big chance now. He's back in the Premier League with a newly promoted club. He's probably going to play week in, week out if he's fully fit. So he's got a massive chance. And there's a lot of people saying that we should have signed him back. But I think, look, we've moved on from Ravel Morrison. We just always have that memory of him scoring that wonder goal at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of fans have this soft spot, because someone actually, I think Billy WHUFC, I think his name is, on Twitter, said like, why do West Ham fans, suck up to him so much? And then he posted the picture of him threatening to throw acid on his girlfriend, but him also wearing the Arsenal shirt while he was a West Ham player. So there was those things, but West Ham fans still seem to love him. I mean, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, look, what his that's the problem with his personal life. I've heard some weird stories about Ravel Morrison. I've heard stories that he'd only, when he was at West Ham at training or in the hotels, he would only drink from a West Ham bottle of water that hasn't been opened. He wouldn't drink nothing else apart from that. So they used to have to take extra water with him because he was a bit of a weird character. So he's a random player. But look, if Sheffield United can get him playing on top form, then they've got a hell of a player there.
Almost guaranteed to score against us, isn't he? Let's be real.
You can see it. Bramall Lane, Ravel Morrison scores, but hopefully by the time we play them, he'll be out the first team and his head would have gone, because I don't think we play him at Bramall Lane till January. So we play them at the London Stadium, I think in September time. I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he has sort of gone from club to club to club, in there, and
when you look at it, he's had Alex Ferguson at Man United, Harry Redknapp at QPR, Sam Allardyce at West Ham. He's had 3 experienced managers there that can't control him. So it's a tough job for the Sheffield United manager to. I mean, he went out to Mexico for a while. He's just finished in Sweden. He went out to Lazio as well. He's been all over the place, and he's still only young. What's he only, about 25, 26?
Yeah, I mean,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Mid 20s. I think he's around about the mid 20s. So yeah, it's just a shame that he hasn't realised his full potential. I don't think he'll ever become the player that Ferguson believed he could be, but maybe he can become a solid Premier League player if he sorts himself out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%, mate.
So yeah, let's have a look at some of the other comments. Someone said something about Haller being our like the new Pie, like the new main man. The possibility of that. Time will tell, I guess, on that.
Yeah, look, if he plays the first 10 games and he doesn't score a goal, fans are going to get on his back. So we've signed him to score goals. So look, it's not only down to him scoring goals; it's down to the midfield to provide him as well. So that's going to be a big shout. But when you look at, say, you have Haller up front, and then you've got a sort of Yarmolenko, Anderson, Fornals, Lanzini, he's going to get chances. Believe me, he's going to get chances. So it's about him finishing, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's it. That is it's all about what he does. So hopefully he becomes that sort of player. Someone, Gary Page asked a very interesting question. What 11 are you playing first game of the season? Off the top of your head.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because obviously we've not seen Haller and Fornals play, but I can imagine Haller is going to be starting. The back 4 will probably be sort of like Fredericks, Diop, Balbuena, and I'd probably say Masuaku. obviously Fabianski in goal, but then it's the midfield that's the problem because you've got so many players. You could have a midfield of Declan Rice as a holding with Jack Wilshere, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, and Fornals and Anderson, and then Haller up top.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one there, but it's like I said earlier, it's a good headache for Pellegrini to have.
Yeah, the midfield is stacked, and it sort of ties in. Actually, it sort of ties into. I think West Ham straight to. I think. Do you think Haller better up front on his own, or maybe with a second striker, even Hernandez? And I just think the fact that he seemed to form that partnership with Jovic at Frankfurt, and he seemed to thrive in that. I think it's second striker or someone that's either just play off someone like a Yarmolenko or an Antonio.
I mean, I can guarantee you one thing. I'll guarantee you that Pellegrini tries that in pre-season, them two up top, just to see how it works. Because if he starts them against, say Fulham or Hertha Berlin, and they click really well and they both get a goal each, then he's probably thinking, right, now let's try it at home against Bilbao. And then maybe we could go into that City game with them two up top. But like you said, someone's got to miss out. I mean, there's players, I ain't even mentioned Antonio or Snodgrass or Mark Noble yet. It's there's a lot of players, a lot of competition, and that's what it's about in the Premier League. You need your best players to step up.
It's an interesting one, actually, because we've just given Snodgrass this new deal, this new long-term deal, actually, this new contract. So obviously Pellegrini must fancy him in some sort of way, but then with all these other players you've got, it's going to be, and we've convinced Chicharito to stay, so he must have said to him, look, you're in my plans, to convince him to stay for this season.
Yeah, he has. He said that in his sort of interview, didn't he? That he's sort of told Hernandez that he wants him to be more of a first team player this year. So Hernandez has probably got to that point in his career now where he thinks, right, I'm not going to make a big money move. I've got a year left in my contract at West Ham. He's probably happy in London. Let me see out this final year, have a good season in the Premier League, and then he'll probably go and play in America or somewhere like that in the next couple of years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Another question here from Edward Denham. Dan, should we sign Modric? He's available for a low price and good backup to Noble. Would you ever think about that? Modric as a backup to Noble?
I think that's a piss take question now.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Oh, he's retracted the message now.
Oh, right. No, but listen, Modric is a world class player. I don't think we'll see him at West Ham until he's about 40.
Could you imagine? It's like, 80 minutes to go, Modric coming on for Noble in the Premier League. Dan, do you think we will play Europa League next season? Well, we ain't qualified, so I doubt it. But no, I reckon he means the season.
Yeah,
will we qualify?
That's got to be our aim. I mean, every team should go into the new season, no matter what league you're in, trying to improve on what you've done before. I mean, even Man City have got to improve because they won the league and they won the FA Cup and the League Cup, but they didn't win the Champions League. So that's going to be their aim. With us, we finished 10th. We should be aiming for that Europa League spot.
We were only a few points off of the Europa League spot as well in our manager's first season with a shitload of new players.
And we lost our first 4 games.
Yeah, and we lost the first game, and we had a ton of injuries as well. So, and the instability of the Arnautovic situation halfway through the season. So there's so many factors. If we can we've got that stability now, and we've got the same manager, we've got all these signings, we can really go for it.
And it was losing games like to the likes of Wolves, Bournemouth, teams like that. That's one thing we do need to change. We need to start beating the teams around us and being consistent. You can't just always turn up against the bigger boys, as people like to say. You need to turn up. You need to treat Norwich at home is the same as Man City at home.
Yeah, and do you know what I think as well? Next, I think from like 4th place down to like 10th place is very open at the moment. Like them positions don't seem to be nailed on, like, because I'd say guaranteed top 4 next season for me, Liverpool, Man City and Tottenham, but you've got Chelsea in the state they're in, Frank Lampard coming in, transfer ban, Man United, a mess, Ollie, question mark over him, Arsenal, the mess that they're in, and now you've got the teams like Leicester, Everton, Wolves and us that sort of seem to be improving. So there's that weird sort of, like, we could on paper sort of catch up to these other teams and it could be quite open.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, even teams like Arsenal and Chelsea, they're going to be looking over their shoulders, looking at some of the deals that these clubs have been doing. Like Leicester, they've spent a lot of money. Wolves have spent a lot of money. West Ham has spent a lot of money. Everton have just they got a great signing the other day in Fabian Delph. I'm not saying that any of these teams are going to break the top four, but it won't be long before one of these teams will break the top four because times change in football. And when you see teams like Arsenal struggling to find money to sign players, it's what, and Chelsea can't sign anyone for 2 years. They've got to work with what they've got.
Was it 2 years? I thought it was a season. Jeez.
Two transfer windows. So that'll
true
be
windows,
this one in January. So
yeah,
yeah, look, it's going to be. It's good. It's good for the Premier League. It's good for English football, and I hope that we are sort of up there towards the end of the season, battling out with these teams.
Yeah, I mean, I said this on TalkSport. That top six has never been more vulnerable since the top six was established.
Yeah,
since the top six became a thing, it's never been more vulnerable. So if we have a good season, if we're ever going to happen, I mean, we might just end up getting mid-table again, but I feel like it's there for the taking.
I think for me, I think if we finish 10th, I'll be disappointed. Yeah. I would be disappointed. I want to see us try to break into that top 7. Yeah. I want to see us get into Europe. I want to see us just try to start mixing it with the top European clubs, because there's some great top European clubs in that Europa League. It's not an easy thing to win. So it would be good. That's what Pellegrini was brought in to do. The board are backing him, giving him the money to get his signings in. And as I said, a fully fit squad, we should be up there. We should be battling that top 7, top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. He's building. And I think as long as we still keep, even if it's a season where we just miss out on the 7th, but we're challenging for it, sort of like we did last season, it's getting that stability and that improvement season upon season. A lot of comments actually I saw about Balotelli now on a free. I don't know if that could be the player that the mysterious signing, but it's a free transfer. What do you reckon of Balotelli?
Yeah, I mean, Balotelli's Balotelli. He definitely had some entertainment to the London Stadium on and off the pitch. But look, if Pellegrini wanted to bring him in as a free transfer, I don't know what the wages would be, but look, I think he'd be a great addition to the squad. I know there's a lot of West Ham fans out there. I've seen people commenting on other videos we've done saying no way to Balotelli, but I think it'd be a decent signing, especially now we've just brought in Haller as well. Imagine having Haller, Hernandez and Balotelli to call upon.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
I can understand like the reservations about just because of so soon after the Marco and Arnautovic thing. But here's the thing with Arnautovic, he wanted, he was like in his late 20s and he's gone in to try and get one last big payday. I think this is would be Balotelli's last big move. I can't see him joining West Ham and then wanting to go to China and trying to leave in that other season. I think he's got that certain attitude about him, that sort of baggage that he comes with, but I can't see it being too much of a problem as long as he performs on the pitch.
There's mixed comments here about Balotelli. Some fans said yes, some fans said no. I mean, look, he's always going to give mixed reviews from fans. He's always going to get that. He's Balotelli at the end of the day. And
when he at City under Pellegrini?
No, I think they just missed each other.
Right.
I think they just missed each other when he was manager at Man City. But he obviously knows of him. But look, there's a lot of people are saying about Danny Drinkwater as well on loan. I think Danny Drinkwater would be a good signing on loan, but I can't see Chelsea letting him go. Not in their situation.
No. Why would they let any player go? It'd be shocking. And I think at the moment where the midfield is so packed, and he's a little bit more of like a forward thinking, I think, midfielder really more than a defensive midfielder, I think. And plus he's on high wages, so Chelsea would have to pay a lot of them wages. He's on like 100 grand a week, I think, Danny Drinkwater. Yeah, he is. I mean, it's look, we've still got 3 weeks. There's going to be loads of players linked with us. And actually, you touched on Maupay. Sorry, there's a lot of comments on Maupay. I think you touched on it a little bit earlier in the video. He's someone I definitely would like, and that's what I said. I would love to get someone like a Haller, that marquee foreign signing, and then a good Championship striker with a good goal record. That's the sort of player we should have signed instead of Hugo from the Championship. Someone with a really good goal scoring record and really good football ability from the Championship.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's going to be an interesting last few weeks, and I mean, people were saying about who was it? Kieran Tierney as well, the Celtic left back, heavily with Arsenal. I can't see us paying 25-30 million for him, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But
could you imagine? Could you imagine it? The meltdown.
I want West Ham to sign him just to see the meltdown on Arsenal Twitter. Especially because DT has already done a video. He's prepared a video that they've already signed him. Did you see that?
Yeah. He's done it on a few players, and then they've missed out on them. Like, he's done a few of these. I mean, I had all these Arsenal fans after me because I tweeted out about their letter, right, that they wrote for their protest or something. They wrote a letter to Kroenke, and I posted ours when there was all the fans surrounding the director's box for West Ham when they're fed up with their owners, and then you got Arsenal and this old bloke writing a letter. And I just thought it was if Stan hasn't bloody listened or they gave a shit about it, before, what's a letter gonna do? And it's so buys into that middle class stereotype of Arsenal fans that they'd write him a letter. But yeah, I don't. They get wound up. So if we did get Tierney, mate, jeez, I'd get David Sullivan's name tattooed on my leg.
Yeah, no, that'd be an amazing signing for West Ham. But I see an interview with Neil Lennon yesterday, and they're not going to let him go on the cheap. So look, he's Celtic's player at the end of the day, but I can't see it happening. But if it did, I'm sure it would be. It would put a lot of smiles on West Ham's faces, getting one over on the arse.
And someone said Sanchez at Dendoncker in. I think we missed the boat on Dendoncker, really. We had our chance to get him.
He's signed for Wolves now, isn't he, on a permanent? Yeah. So, yeah, that's a shame because when we was linked with him under Moyes, I was excited. He would have been a great player to have at West Ham.
Well, when I was watching that video on the deadline day, when my reaction, I was talking. It was interesting because we had the opportunity to go for Dendoncker. We didn't pay the price. We missed out on it just by a few million. They wanted more. But instead, we used that money for Hugo, who we played like he came off the bench like twice or something. Yeah. When we could have just put a few more million in and got Dendoncker in, who looks to be a real good play. Looked really good for Wolves last season. It's be a cracking signing. It's just one of them nearly add to our nearly 11.
I mean, just before we go, I mean, I've seen a few people say about that Morelos Rangers, and that's the player that I was talking about earlier. They're looking about 5 million for him. He would be. I've seen him play. I watched quite a bit of Rangers last season, and he's a lively character. He loves a red card, but he scores goals, and he's similar to sort of like Balotelli, really, with his attitude and what he does. I see 3 Old Firm games last year, and I think every single one he kicks whatever character, but. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who we do end up getting, and it's been an exhausting transfer window. I'm never a big fan of the transfer window just because of you hear all these different stories dragged out every single day. But once you get them over the line, it's quite exciting to see who's going to be playing and how we're going to look. And now we've got like 2 really top transfer signings over the line in Fornals and Haller. It's going to be interesting to see what we do next. But yeah, I think Obiang looks like a player I think we want to get rid of, but that no clubs have met our valuation of Obiang. I mean, what do you think? What would you take for Obiang?
I think he's a difficult one, Obiang. I don't want to underprice him, but I could see us only getting between like 8 and 10 million for him if we're lucky to get that. He's a player. He's a player that. He's got the potential to be good, but I don't know what it is with him. He seems too lazy for me. He's saying with his attitude as well, but
very inconsistent. I just think he's not cut out for the Premier League, to be honest. A lot of comments here about Diego Costa. Been linked with.
Yeah, I said this. Me and Nicky discussed this on the live show the other day. I would love Diego Costa at West Ham. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I would, because if you think Arnautovic was a bastard, he's a bigger bastard. And
Yeah.
he was always one of them players. You'd watch him play for Chelsea and you'd hate him, but you'd think I'd love him in my team.
Oh yeah, I've always been a big fan of Diego Costa.
And he'd come back and he'd want something to prove. With our West London neighbours looking, thinking, hang on, we had him. Now he's at the London Stadium. It'd be interesting, but I don't know. I can't see him coming. But I think it was Glenn Johnson on TalkSport last week said that, and I think Stuart Pearce said it as well, with Diego Costa, and this is no disrespect to West Ham, but I know what he means. He said it'd be a big fish in a smaller pond, but he'd thrive on it. And I think he would. Imagine our fans getting behind someone like Diego Costa when he puts in a tackle or, scores a goal or does something. We'd love him.
Could you imagine him like playing against Spurs and him just getting in their faces and getting under their skin? Oh, we'd love it.
Imagine him playing against Chelsea.
Oh, yes. Giving it. And he'd be a right bastard against Chelsea. I don't think he'd do any of that, not celebrating stuff.
Saying that, though, knowing our owners, we'll go for Costa and end up with Starbucks.
Yeah. You never know. It's classic, typical our owners. But yeah, I mean, I would have, even though like he hasn't exactly been, soaring since he did leave Chelsea. But yeah, like I said, he knows the Premier League. I think he's quality. Quality is quality. They say class is permanent. I would, if the wages were right, I'd take him for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. If the option's there, then we've definitely got to look at it. But one more before we go, because I need to shoot off in a minute. But a lot of people saying about Kouyaté. We should go for him. No, I think that ship sailed a long time ago. He's gone to Palace. I was a big fan of Kouyaté when we first signed him, and I thought he was brilliant in that last season at Bowling, but I think he lost his way a bit towards the end of his West Ham career. It's a shame because he was a good character, like sort of on and off the pitch. He was just sort of, he had a smile on his face, good in the changing room. So, but no, he plays for Palace now, and I can't see that that one.
No, I mean, they seem to be happy with him, and I don't know whether I would have rather have kept him rather than getting Carlos Sanchez in. I think he's definitely better than Carlos Sanchez. So you just think you might as well have kept him rather than going and signing him. And yeah, I think maybe it was the Sacco stuff like that that turned his head, because that first season and 2 seasons we had him. I mean, we was rating him highly. I mean, I think you had Chelsea interested in him and stuff like that. We was comparing him to Kante, saying he's not quite as good as Kante, but he's there. And yeah, sadly, he's just, like you said, he lost his way towards the end. So best luck to him. But no, I don't think we'll go back. Like you said.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, no, it's been anyone else that catches your mind comments wise before we go?
No, I've just looked. I think they're more of the sort of same now, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of the questions we did touch on earlier in the show. So if you have tuned in late or you have missed it, you will be able to go back and watch from the beginning. Marega, people are talking about Marega, who's been a long-term target. We've linked with, I don't know about target, but we have been linked with him since January, I think.
Yeah. No, he's a sort of similar player to Haller, isn't he? Like built like the way he's built and that. So, and
I think they were talking about 25 million or 30 million. I can't see us spending over 20 million for whoever this other striker that we're going to go for is. I can't see us splashing like big money.
No, it's going to be either a sort of like a free transfer or a loan, or it's going to be like low, like under 10 million.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, it's exciting times, mate. Like I said, we got to be happy. We got our marquee striker over the line, very highly rated, and now we just have to see what happens next in the transfer window. Keep an eye on the pre-season games. I'm going to try and see if there's any tickets left for Fulham. I will go to that and then see if about getting the Bilbao. Yeah,
no, definitely, mate. But I think Nicky's going to do another live show at the end of the week, Friday. I think on the social will be this week. I'm doing that tomorrow.
Lovely.
Transfer videos will be going up. So yeah, busy, mate. Subscribers, we passed 45,000.
Yeah.
So if you are new to this, and just hit the subscribe button, support us.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Like I said, we've been trying to keep the transfer daily, and just trying to keep you guys constantly updated with every little thing that's going on. Like I said, on the social, it's always good. Then, if you had any questions you didn't get in today, drop the questions in for on the social, and if you're lucky, Ryan will answer it. If anything you didn't get. So yeah, no, I enjoyed this, mate.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was good, mate. I enjoyed it. Lots to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gone already. Bloody hell. I better shoot or I'm going to get in trouble in a minute.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
mate.
going out.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, thanks a lot. Like I said, really enjoyed it. Thank you guys all for watching. Like I said, if you hadn't seen it from the beginning, you can go back once this processes or whatever, and you can go back and watch it. So don't forget to subscribe, leave your thumbs up, and look out for all our other content. One thing left to say, mate.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.